Hey, DC Trippers. Are you excited? We're like 4 or 5 days away. This is really fun, and this is really exciting. And I just wanted to give you a quick little video, some reminders about our trip coming up on Friday morning. So here goes. Purpose of this video to give you some reminders about packing, some tour logistic things, and just a reminder of the expectations while we're on the trip. So make sure, guys, that you have signed up for the Remind app. I think most everybody has, but if you haven't, do that. We will use this thing ceaselessly on the trip. It will be, hey, breakfast is coming up in 15 minutes, or you have 20 minutes to get back to the meeting point at the Smithsonian, or whatever it is. So make sure you're in here so you get all of those things. We will use the Remind app constantly on the trip, and before even, as we already have been. So make sure you do that, please. Also, opportunity, if you're on Twitter or your parents, and this is a great thing for parents on Twitter, follow that account, Edmondson8US. I use that strictly for DC trip purposes only, so I will take pictures and post them and let people know what we're doing and how it's going, those kinds of things. And I've, over the years, gotten lots of feedback from parents that are really appreciative of this. So take advantage of it and follow that on Twitter to just kind of stay up with the trip. All right, so preparing for the trip. Just some packing reminders. Everything is packed to be carried on. So make sure you bring comfy tennis shoes and jeans or some kind of long pants. Don't bring shorts. I think it's supposed to be in the 50s, but man, the wind whipping off the Potomac or the Tidal Basin or across the mall, it gets really cold quickly. So make sure you bring some long pants. If you want to bring a pair of shorts to kick around the hotel room, that little bit of time we're in there, that's okay. But make sure you bring some long pants. T-shirts, hoodies, pajamas, personal items, and a light jacket. You want to go layers on this thing for sure. Make sure all your school or all your clothing is school appropriate too. For luggage, you've already gotten your gray BrightSpark tag, so make sure you have that on your BrightSpark backpack, on your string pack. Your carry-on luggage needs to be that 9 by 14 by 22 suitcase. It's very standard. I think everybody probably knows what we're talking about. You will get your orange BrightSpark tag for that when you get on the bus, and it's a 40-pound max limit on those, and that's a lot of weight, so you shouldn't even be approaching that. For toiletries, remember, you get a 3-ounce max carried in a plastic baggie. So there's a website you can go to just kind of verify through the TSA what it is you can bring. But make sure you put these in your backpack, in your string pack, not in your luggage. Because when we go through security, you're going to need to pull them out separately so they can see them as we go through. So really imagine on the left-hand side, there's all those little containers where you can put whatever it is you need to bring, small travel size like hairspray and toothpaste and all that stuff. And then on the right-hand side, it's all in a gallon Ziploc baggie, and that's really handy so that you could just easily reach into your string pack and pull it out to show to have security look at it. There's a lot of us going through security. We want to make sure we get through really, really quickly. So on Friday morning, arriving at Northview, be there by 3:45. Bus leaves at 4, and if you're not there, you're going to be left. So make sure you don't do that. But we're going to be in the west parking lot by the stadium. So just meet us there at 3:45. If you want to be a little early, that's probably okay because I think we'll be there as well. When you get on the bus, you're going to load your carry-on luggage under the bus, right? And the bus driver will be there to help us do that. And you're going to make sure that you get your orange BrightSpark tag on that. Make sure you give your parents or whomever dropped you off a big hug and a big thank you, and then get on the bus and bring your BrightSpark backpack with you on that, and put your gray luggage tag on your backpack, and put on your BrightSpark lanyard. That thing is going to go on you at the bus at Northview, and it's not going to come off your body until you get home to Northview on Sunday night, Monday morning, with the exception of taking a shower. Outside that ID needs to be on you the entire time so we can identify each other from a distance. It's really, really important that we do that. So make sure you have your lanyard and the ID on it, and it's on your person at all times. Here's our flight information. We're going to fly out of Des Moines at 6:30 on flight 924. And we're going to arrive in St. Louis at 7:35 a.m. and then we'll leave St. Louis at 9:10 on flight 1767 and arrive in Reagan Washington National Airport pretty much straight up noon on Friday. That should be local time. So that's all Southwest Airlines for the flight information. Here's our expectations, do's and don'ts at the airport. Always make sure we stay as a group, listen to directions, be courteous and polite. We really pride ourselves in getting lots of compliments, so please, please, please do that. Make sure we take security very, very seriously. When you're in line, pay attention, listen to them. Not a good time to be texting other people or messing around with your friends. Just pay attention. There's lots of people trying to get through security. It's a really high stress time for travelers, so let's make sure we don't slow them down. And keep your boarding pass on you and somewhere safe. Don't ever set it down or ask somebody to hold it. Just keep it with you at all times. The don'ts are leave bags unattended. That's illegal. Don't put your boarding pass down, as I just mentioned. And don't ever go anywhere without a buddy and chaperone approval. So if you're at the airport and you need to use the restroom, you need to find a chaperone and show us your buddy, and then you'll be given that permission if we have time. So make sure you always stay with at least one buddy and you get chaperone approval to go anywhere on this entire trip. For the expectations on the plane, we're going to sit in our assigned seats, and we don't really have assigned seats, but we have assigned kind of sections that we get on the plane. So this isn't a time to jostle and try to get next to somebody. The flights are relatively short, and you'll be with your friends in due order once we get to DC. So just sit where you have to sit. Put your carry-on in the bin above you. Be quiet and respectful, and be very, very polite. Generally, travelers are a little leery to see 58th graders walk onto a plane, especially early in the morning, and we always get compliments of how well our students behave, so we really appreciate that. Please keep that streak alive. Listen to all directions regarding electronic devices, so when they tell you to turn stuff off, turn it off, and then they'll tell you when you can turn it back on. And then when we land, either in St. Louis or in DC, you're going to wait for all the other passengers to get off the plane before we do. We'll just wait, we'll just sit, and we'll wait it out. It's fine. No, nobody will leave you behind. We'll just sit there and take our time, and we'll get off the plane when we can. So packing trips for your backpack, for your string pack, this is what you're going to keep with you the entire time. You'll bring it to the bus and have it there. You're going to want these things: a camera with batteries or a charger, assuming you don't use your phone as a camera. Sometimes camera phones can eat up a lot of memory and or a lot of battery power, so keep that in mind. But something to take pictures with, because you'll want to do that. Bring a pocket poncho or two. It's up to you. But I would have those in there. They're really, really small, and they don't take up much space. A stocking hat and some lightweight gloves. It might not be full-blown winter out there, but again, that wind whipping in off the tidal basin or off the river can be really cool, especially in the morning. So you're going to want to have something. Bring an empty water bottle. We'll have an opportunity to fill that up before we get on the bus in the mornings and those kinds of things. You'll want to stay hydrated, because we'll go hard and we'll go all day. So make sure you have some water with you. But bring that water bottle empty. You will not be able to get on the plane with water in the bottle. Bring individually packaged snacks like granola bars or whatever kind of trips your trigger, I guess. But bring some snacks that you could just eat, without making a huge mess. Maybe a watch. Bring your phone. Bring your souvenir money. Remember, that's all your responsibility. Everything in the string pack is your responsibility as we go through the trip. During the trip, everybody's got a number. We practice it at the meeting. We'll do it again before we leave Northview. We'll do it again when we get to the airport. We'll do it again before we get on the plane. We will do this all the time. Remember, not a time to be shy, not a time to be messing around, not a time to be quiet. This is how we're going to take attendance every place we go. So get used to it. There's going to be other people there counting out loud in Washington, D.C., so there's no sense of being embarrassed. Let's just do this and do it well and move on to the next thing. Memorize your number, pay attention, say it clearly and loudly, but don't ever just jokingly blurt somebody else's number out or be timid. Let's just get her done, okay? Our expectations: remember, we're representatives of ANCIES, so we're going to be safe, responsible, respectful. Always be courteous to our chaperones, thank you, to our bus driver and tour guide, to security at the hotel, to any personnel we deal with in the airlines or the hotels, to anybody working in any of the attractions. Just always be courteous and be polite. Say thank you, say yes and no, and look people in the eye. Like, all of that stuff would be Really helpful. Have that group mentality. We're all in this together, so don't make individual selfish decisions. Make decisions that benefit the entire group. The buddy system is always in effect at the hotel, at any attraction, in any airport, anywhere. We always use the buddy system. Do not go anywhere without a buddy and without chaperone approval. No gambling, alcohol, or illegal substances, obviously, and make sure your electronic devices we only use at appropriate times. On the trip, make sure they're on silent. Don't be using them when the guide is giving the tour. So our attention is on whoever is trying to tell us what we're looking at or where we're going, and not on our devices. Use them for pictures or for a clock or whatever, but I wouldn't bring anything big like an iPad or a Kindle. Leave that in the hotel while in DC. Okay, but again, you're responsible for the care of your own devices. Just some highlights. You've looked at this. Hopefully, if you've not done some of the activities on Google Classroom, I can't stress enough that you should do that. Go look up some stuff and find out some interesting facts. There's so many interesting things in DC. We never get through them all as far as telling you the interesting stories that go with it. We'll do the best we can, but we'll miss some things certainly just based on the speed with which we go through stuff. So there's some of the stuff. The itinerary is also on Google Classroom. You can look at it and go take those challenges from Google Classroom and learn some stuff. Vietnam Memorial, here's the website to go look if you have a name that you want to do a rubbing on against somebody you need to know personally, family member or a friend of a family member, something like that, and it'll direct you in that direction. Smithsonian, there's 14 of them, something like that. Well, typically 3 are that we get to: the air and space, the natural history, and the American history. You might even have to make a choice between those 3. So go look at the Smithsonian website and see which one you would want to spend some time at. Prioritize them so that you're ready to go when we get there. Camera etiquette, some places say take all the pictures you want. Other places say no pictures at all. Some say you can take pictures, no flash. So make sure that you understand those when we get those places. Also, never ever take pictures of strangers. Never ever take pictures of strangers. Be respectful of that and don't do that. Make sure you know how to use your camera or your phone camera, whatever it is, before you go. If you need extra batteries or memory cards or whatever, get those before we leave, because we're not going to be able to go to a Walgreens or a Best Buy or anything like that, okay? And it's your responsibility, so make sure you're ready to go with that. Here's our hotel. It's the Hyatt Centric in Arlington, Virginia. No opportunity to swim, and there will be overnight security. Our expectations is you'll get a key card. Do not lose it. Be respectful and courteous. Never leave the hotel without the group. You won't even leave your room without pretty much permission, and always have your ID on. Keep your room clean. Any damage that occurs in the room, the students will pay for it. It'll be divided up amongst the people in that room, so police each other as well. Our record currently is $0 of damage over the years, so keep that up. Don't use the hotel phone. Probably not a big deal because everybody has a cell phone. And there will be no boys and girls rooms or vice versa. There will be room checks, there'll be curfews, and there'll be morning wake-ups. Your chaperones will be doing that. And as we do the morning wake-ups or the curfew checks, we'll review the weather, we'll talk about what we're doing the next day and what time breakfast is and all those things. But frankly, you'll be so tired, you'll just be wanting to go to sleep anyway. Our meals, we're going to be eating breakfast at the hotel. Snacks is whatever you bring. Our lunches and dinners are either money at food courts or box lunches. Our dinners will be sit-down restaurants. The first night, I believe, is Ben's Chili Bowl, so you might go look at that. It's an awesome story. And then Saturday night will be Buca di Beppo, which is family-style Italian. So you can go just take a look at their menu and see what it is we might be eating. You won't order off a menu necessarily, but it'll give you an idea of what we're looking at. As far as health goes, make sure you take any prescribed medication, bring it with you, bring 4 days worth just in case. And we'll just get through that. Chaperones will always have a first aid kit as well. Safety procedures, again, know your number, wear your ID always, bring your ID card, always a buddy system, carry your phone as well just in case we need to get a hold of you. All right, returning to Iowa, we're going to come back same route from Reagan Washington National through St. Louis, and we should land in Des Moines about 11:15 and get back to Northview right about midnight Monday morning to be picked up. So that's it. Keep looking at Google Classroom for any last-minute details and contact me with any questions. There's my email address, brad.edmondson@ankeschools.org. Thanks a lot. I'm really excited to see everybody on Friday.